So, we are with Nketsia, the 5th of Mahini of Sekendi, and as I've publicly declared, my candidate for the most original thinker in Ghana. Nana, welcome to AfricaNext.
Thank you, Amos.
You were supposed to be with us at Tesano yesterday. Why were you not there?
Well, I got caught up with all kinds of things. But let me correct one thing. I'm not the Omani of Sekendi. I'm the Omani of British Sekendi. You have Dutch Sekendi and British Sekendi.
Okay.
So that's it. Always make the difference. We are all Sekunofu. That one I know.
Yeah, you're lucky, you see. The painting you are sitting, which is like I don't know, I want to call it a copy of Glover. The painting you are sitting next to matches your polo shirt exactly. There's no name on this painting. But so we were discussing knowledge yesterday.
Yeah.
I know you have a new book out. What's the title of the book? Or you have a new book almost out. What's the title of the book?
In Search of a Paradigm, African Culture in Ghana's Governance and Development.
Can you repeat that again, please?
In Search of a Paradigm, African Culture in Ghana's Governance and Development.
And when can we expect it?
Well, as soon as the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Well, I've read bits and pieces of it. I know you've done your part. So you're now with the publishing business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
and then it's a book that is not really, people write, some write because they want money or something, but it is just to provoke thought. And provoke thought about the path we've chosen in terms of our governance and development. Whether the Eurocentric models that we are busy imitating, like monkeys, whether it's going to serve us, or whether we need to be more original within our governance systems, as well as our developmental models.
So I guess you're saying you are not original.
I mean, any person can imitate. So, what have we done that is original? I mean, if you hear the politicians talk, most especially even about the present constitution, they talk about that it's a hybrid. Hybrid of what? America and Europe. Not even a hybrid of Africa and... Well, doesn't Africa have anything to offer? So it's a matter of asking us to go within and try to bring something out.
Which areas of our existence are you least worried about? In terms
least worried about?
Least worried, yeah. Or which areas of our existence are you reasonably happy with?
Well, at the moment, at least the constitution we have, whether we review it or unreviewed, is giving us the means of talking. And without talking to each other, discussing ideas, we wouldn't be able to, we wouldn't be able to, what should I say? Without those kind of discussions, we won't be able to get the best out of it, best out of ourselves. So that is the positive thing. But if you remove that, if you remove the fact that we are talking, what are we getting out of the partisanship, the rabid partisanship that we have? It reminds me about two people who are fighting. Why is the gold, the manganese, everything is still going away? You understand me? And there are times that you need to close ranks in order to protect the interests of the country. But we're busy quarreling.
Let's talk about knowledge. You're a university teacher yourself.
I'm listening. What do you want to know
what
about
does
knowledge?
your book on the paradigm talk about knowledge? Say about knowledge. I mean, paradigm is very much a knowledge idea.
Every knowledge is a cultural phenomenon. It comes out of you yourself, your thoughts within your ecological space. So it is your interaction within your ecological space, based on the past. You know, the consciousness of the past in the present, and your dreams of the future. That produces the kind of knowledge you need to move on. So knowledge always, you know, the future hasn't come. The present is a becoming. The only real thing that exists is the past. And that is where you find all the mistakes you made, all the right things you did, all the things that you made. So that is where you can reach out and learn from it in order to try to create a dream of the future. So the future you can't take it.
I know you're a historian. So
well, it's not about history, but historical consciousness is the most important thing. History is what teaches. How can you walk around the world without knowing who even your enemy is? You know, look at your history and know what systems have been against you, who has been against you, what has been against you, the obstacles that have been against you, and then you learn from it. But if you think that everybody, I mean, how can your oppressor be your friend?
So history is important.
It's only history that teaches you.
But you've been in the history department almost all your life. You're about to retire.
Well,
you keep criticizing. Is it not a criticism of yourself?
Well, it's a national phenomenon that it's a national problem for the African almost everywhere that they are not historically conscious. And we need to get that. You remember that when you were a kid, you used to play this game, I'm your Wechiro or Bro. If you don't look to the back, if you don't look, behind you, if you don't look to what has gone on before you.
Yeah, can you continue that? I remember I'm sure
Obinabo. Yeah, Obowo and so Obinabo. I mean, it makes us depending on what they say. But the most important thing is that it always draws you to the past, right? To think about it, not in terms of being glued to the past, but in using it in order to create the future. And these are some of the old films that we need to. But with that historical
consciousness, there's a lot of history. I mean, like the idea of Sankofa is almost ingrained in Ghanaian popular thought now.
Yeah, but it is. But what are they doing about it? What are we Sankofying?
We have our chiefs.
To do. Are they also Sankofying?
Our chiefs are, what do you say, custodians of culture and history.
The chieftaincy institution is designed in a way, I use the word institution, that the society itself must always be conscious of its history. Let's
go back to more narrow knowledge institutions. The point about we are at Gimpa right now. This looks like a Nouveau Rich Hotel. It's actually the executive in Gimpa. I see it at their hotel in Gimpa. I don't know. I'm very conservative. I think, excuse me, Nana, but the best chance we have for a humanities university in Ghana is the University of Ghana, no matter how bad it is. But this is, I mean, let's talk about the universities. You've been in a university your whole life.
Yeah, I mean, all our universities have one fundamental problem, and that is Eurocentrism. The universities have to look inward.
Yeah, what?
The problem with the universities is a problem that people have spoken about since the 19th century. And we always need to go back and look at the whole idea of Kesley Hayford, his concept of a university. And
what Ethiopia Unbound?
Yeah, he discussed it in Ethiopia Unbound. But
what is this concept? Can you summarize
Well, Kesley Hayford's concept, let me leave Ethiopia Unbound and just say something else. When he formed the Sekendi National Research Institute. He says
he did what?
He founded it in 1913. Sekendi National Research Institute.
Sekendi National Research Institute. Really?
Yes.
Where was it physically? Do you know?
Oh, I know where it was in Sekendi.
But can you describe that? It might be some.
Oh, it's around Kitan Junction. They used to call the place Lawyer Chrome.
So I mean, his place on the hill.
It's a place on the hill, yeah.
Which is now a secondary school or something.
It's a secondary school.
Okay.
That is one thing that we.
So that was supposed to be a research institute.
Yeah, and then he lived there. I mean,
he lived there.
Yeah, he lived there as Lawyer Chrome. His wife was there. But the most important thing there is that you could have preserved it as a museum, because that was also the period that Kaslivo was doing the National Council of British West Africa, NCWA, and so on. But you see, our sense of history and preservation, I don't know what has happened to it.
No. So we're talking about our contemporary.
Yeah, but then coming down to what Hayford said in 1913 is that his object was to remove the white man's standpoint from the black man's point of view, and so he thought about having a university at that time located in Kumasi. Around 1900. Yeah, so far away from the contamination of the white on the coast, so that Africa can then look at itself. He went to talk about Egypt and all this kind of thing. So the important thing that I'm saying here is the fact that we need to turn inwards. We need to turn inward. Creativity and knowledge lies within. We need to turn inwards and look at ourselves as Africans.
Let me go back to the point. You are at the University of Cape Coast.
Yeah.
I know your new vice chancellor a bit. I know she is very pro-African herself.
She's a beautiful girl.
But why? So what's your problem? I mean, you keep criticizing, but you are the center of action.
Well, maybe in all small ways, we are all doing our little bits to try to change the whole educational structure. Cape Coast itself was put in place